Good evening and welcome to the August 22nd Town Board meeting of the Town of Ossining. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm sorry, if we don't have to stand up again, but I would like to just have a moment of silence for Reverend Solomon Crooms Pfeiffer, who passed away on August 9th. Reverend Pfeiffer pastored St. Matthew's United Methodist Church in Ossining before founding Faith New Testament Fellowship Church, where he became an inspiration to so many of us through his community service and devotion to building a better Ossining. Please join me for a moment of silence to remember Reverend Pfeiffer. Thank you.
Councilmember Feldman? Here. Councilmember Wilshire?
Present.
Councilmember Jeffries?
Present.
Councilmember Tory?
Present.
And Supervisor Levenberg.
Here.
Do we have any announcements this evening?
We do have a few. After a week without a meeting, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to join us this evening. We had a bit of a disappointment last Friday evening when our summer concert series featuring Mark Berg and Ride had to be canceled due to the heavy rain. We are in talks with Mark to find a new date to bring him back to Ossining since we had such a great time with him when his band played back in 2015. Stay tuned for updates on this. In the meanwhile, I hope you'll join us this coming Friday, August 25th at 7 p.m. when Cubo Riqua, a 7-piece band, will take the stage at Lewis Angle Park for a night of salsa, Cuban, and Dominican music. It's sure to be a great time. I hope to see you all there. The following Friday, September 1st, we will welcome the Old Mill Singers to the stage, also beginning at 7 p.m. Join us for some wonderful tunes with their theme, Vinyl Revival. They will touch on the Beatles, the Jackson 5, and Doobie Brothers, and Duke Ellington, Billy Joel, and a whole lot of other fun ones. So please come and join them the next Friday. Hudson River Expeditions has another kayak excursion out of Ossining coming up this Friday evening, August 25th. So if you wait for the 6 p.m. tour, you can probably hear the sounds of Cubo Riqua from the other side of the stage as you cruise down the Hudson. Visit HudsonRiverExpeditions.com for more information. Also this weekend, Engle Park will host Sue Radparvar from Studio 95 for a free Zumba class as part of our Mind, Body, Spirit Ossining programming. The fun starts on Saturday, August 26th at 3 p.m., probably on the stage. Make sure to come down for an energized dance workout at the waterfront. Also on Saturday, August 26th, Green Ossining will host their Repair Cafe between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. at the Ossining Community Center. Their experts can help you bring your gently used possessions back to life, including fabric, plants, ceramics, costume jewelry, bikes, and more. Visit greenossining.org for more information. Although a few weeks out, please mark your calendars for these two important upcoming events. On Monday, September 11th, please join us for the annual Ossining and Briarcliff Manor September 11th Remembrance Ceremony at Lewis Angle Park, beginning at 7 p.m. This is always an incredibly touching event and a fitting reminder of all of the civilians and brave first responders we lost on that fateful day 16 years ago, as well as all of our first responders who selflessly put their lives on the line for us each day. The Briarcliff Manor Fire Department has been chosen to host the 111th Annual Westchester County Volunteer Firemen's Association Convention, which will culminate in a firemen's parade on Saturday, September 16th at 1 p.m. The parade will start on Pleasantville Road and head down to Law Park, where the marchers and onlookers will be met by a live band. We look forward to celebrating this great honor with the Village of Briarcliff Manor next month. We have some congratulations to extend. Firstly, to our own Ossining Police Department, who was named Best in New York by the Center for Digital Government for most innovative use of social media/citizen engagement. As anyone who follows the OPD Facebook page can attest, this is a well-deserved honor, and we look forward to celebrating with you when you bring that trophy home in September. Also deserving of a shout-out, our JCYS 13 to 14-year-old Little League team. who were New York State champions and then moved on to the East Regionals, where they placed second. Out of 1,000 teams nationwide who competed at this level, our guys were in the top 10. I want to sincerely congratulate the players and their coaches who continue to make us so very proud each year because they have been so successful for many years, this team. We look forward to having the team come to a meeting in September to be recognized by the board in person. Congratulations to the players, Joey Bossanes, Matthew Capio, Nicholas Cassione, Aiden Curry, Jack DeAngelis, Dan Galiff, Shane Horrigan, AJ Minicchio, Gino Minicchio, Kyle Monahan, Massimo Stinziani, Tej Verma, and Eric Yost, as well as the coaches Jim Curry, Greg Galiff, and Pat Yost. We should also celebrate the Village of Ossining, who just today announced that they had been awarded a $1.4 million grant from the Environmental Protection Agency and the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund to perform extensive replacement of the water main at Gordon Avenue. That's right, and that's in the town. While this infrastructure is within the town, this otherwise would have been paid for by the water fund, into which all Village of Ossining and unincorporated residents pay. Congratulations to Andy Teese and the village administration for their success on securing these funds for this great project. Another celebration is in order, as just today, our tax office sent the file out for the school tax bills to be printed. This is by no means a simple process and has required the cooperation of multiple town departments, municipalities, and school districts. I am pleased to say that our newly appointed receiver of taxes, Holly Perlowitz, got the job done, and we applaud and appreciate her efforts and the efforts of her staff to get us over the finish line on this important annual process. Bills are also available online. Right? I want to acknowledge that we continue to experience intermittent phone issues in the town and village offices related to the changeover of our phone system from Verizon to LightPath. And we're hoping to realize some savings with this new plan, as well as more efficiencies and better service. We appreciate everybody's patience with us as we work to get this resolved to better serve our residents. I also want to speak briefly about some of the horrible events of the past 2 weeks, which shook our world nationally and internationally. The hatred expressed in Charlottesville, Virginia, toward a group of people by another is so loathsome that it leaves many of us speechless. However, these types of events cannot and should not be ignored. We must acknowledge hatred at every turn and respond to it with our hearts and minds, countering it with unabashed love, inclusivity, and hope. Same is true with the events in Barcelona, Spain. Having spent much of my college semester abroad on Las Ramblas in Barcelona, my heart truly goes out to those innocent tourists and Catalonians who are victims of extremism manifested in hate. I hope we, as a community, can continue to celebrate the joy of our diversity of beliefs and backgrounds. Coming together at the library the other day just to look up at our sun and the phenomenon of a full solar eclipse was a perfect example of how we all share the same wonder in our humanity, science, and nature. That's all for me.
I have one. On Friday, August 25th, the Ossining Boat and Canoe Club is hosting our very own village historian, Dana White, for a talk on the waterfront, Ossining's River History. It's Friday at 7:30 to 9 at the Ossining Boat and Canoe Club, 25th.
Anyone else? We'll move on to liaison reports.
Oh, Maddie has one.
I'm not a liaison or an announcement because I don't recall exactly the details, but I didn't know if Councilwoman DeTore wanted to mention the IFCA book bag drive.
Oh, yes. I'm remiss there. IFCA's working with the Star of Bethlehem Church to collect. Our goal is to collect over 100 backpacks for kids elementary through high school age, and we will be collecting them now until August 30th, and you can drop them off at IFCA at 138 Spring Street during Monday through Fridays from 9 to 5. New backpacks, but we will also welcome school supplies as well.
Any?
Okay.
Okay, we're all set? Move on to, do we have any departmental reports this evening? Not seeing anyone?
Unless you, unless
No,
Madam
I'm
Clerk?
fine,
Okay.
thank you very much. We have no public comment on agenda items. We'll go right into resolutions. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Ossining hereby approves the August 8th, 2017 minutes of the regular meeting as presented.
Do I have a motion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Ossining hereby approves the voucher detail report dated August 22nd, 2017, in the amount of $429,384.23.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
After a very small voucher detail report at our last meeting, we are a little higher than normal this time around. This bill run includes one of our 6 annual payments to OVAC, an emergency sewer pump replacement at one of our lift stations, our September medical bill, and several payments on items related to our 2017 capital work, including supplies for our pavilions, one pavilion, dugouts, fields, restrooms, and a new vehicle for Dale Cemetery, which has actually been in operation, and for whatever reason, we just found hadn't quite paid the bill yet, so.
Question, I thought you weren't using all makes anymore. I know it's Michael.
No, we're still in
Are-
all makes.
Still with all makes. Yeah,
I know that we had, something went wrong and you went to somebody else.
That might be the generators that you're thinking of, because
No,
we switched
no.
generator companies for the pump stations.
No, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I've been with them when they went down in those sewer line things, but okay.
I
that's all
think that
right.
there
We
was
had
a
a whole
stumbling block.
conversation about going away and coming back.
It's okay, as long as it's working.
We're still using them.
Okay.
Okay.
Check the-
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstention?
Whereas the Teton Lake Reservation is applying to the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation for a grant under the Environmental Protection Fund for a park project to be located at 1595 Spring Valley Road, Austin, New York. And now therefore be it resolved that the Board of the Town of Austin hereby does endorse the application of Teton Lake Reservation for a grant under the Environmental Protection Fund for a park project known as the Regional Science Education Center.
Do I have a motion? So our friends at T-Town asked us to submit a resolution of support to include with their CFA application for what seems to be a phenomenal project. They plan to rehabilitate their existing garage space into a regional science education center, which will expand T-Town's teaching capacity through the construction of new indoor-outdoor lab space and classrooms. I know we all wish T-Town the best of luck in securing this funding, and if we can help them in any way, I'm sure that we are happy to do so. We look forward to hearing good news on this in the not-too-distant future. Any questions?
Yeah, where is this building on the property?
I think it's to the right, it's off to the right when you drive that building that they purchased not that long ago, on the right.
Okay, so it's on that property?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
They're,
They have a science education
Component.
program. They're not a school. They just have a lot of education components. I know that they have summer science research for, it's called TESSA program, T-Town. I don't remember what the acronym is, but it's science research program.
never
They-
known that they did
Yeah,
anything.
they have a
So
lot
they've
of-
been expanding to include a larger breadth of education. They've always had education programs for younger students where they push into classrooms. They also have they have field trips to town, and they have, they work with the schools, closely with all the schools in the area. But then what they really were trying to do is sort of create scientists and people who love T-Town and the relationship with nature for life. So they started diving in and partnering with the school districts in the area to do science research education, and also to get students excited about science research that revolves around the environment and nature and things that they have at their, so they've had some doctorate level staff working on those education programs. Okay? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions?
Whereas Dean Coretta of Ossining has long been employed by the town of Ossining as a part-time parks attendant, and whereas Mr. Coretta is paid $30 per event at Engle Park and $50 per event at Gerlach Park, and whereas the job responsibilities at Engle Park have expanded, and the board wishes to pay Mr. Coretta accordingly. Therefore, be it resolved that effective August 5th, 2017, the rate at Engle Park is now $50 per event.
Do we have a motion? All those, okay, so just quickly, as everybody knows, we've been making improvements to our parks, and we recently have made improvements specifically to Engle Park, which we're very happy is getting a lot more use now with the new grills and the ash depositories, and of course, that also means that we create more garbage. So we're hoping that people will dispose of their garbage on their own, but when the garbage cans do get filled up, we need to put them in what we now have as a dumpster on in the area. So we're going to take advantage of Mr. Coretta, who's been policing, patrolling Engle Park, trying to keep it as clean as possible over the weekend, to do a little bit more cleanup down there, and as a result, we're offering him a few more dollars to do so. So hopefully, and we're going to continue to work with Suburban, because we know that we've been continuing to have some complaints about those areas, who has placed a dumpster down there to make sure that they're picking up as many times as need be to keep it as clean as possible down there.
So we're going from per event to per hour with him?
No, per event, not per hour. Event.
Per day? Fine event.
Sorry.
Day.
The way that the gentleman is paid right now is every time there's a picnic at Gerlach Park, he's paid $50 per picnic. So for the sake of argument, that's an event. At Engle Park, it's sort of per day, but the way that civil service lays it out is per event. So we could interchange the word day or event
Okay,
in that
just
case.
wondering where we came up with event.
Yep.
'cause- Okay, thank you.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Whereas pursuant to a judgment of foreclosure for unpaid taxes entered by the Supreme Court of the State of New York, Westchester County, the town of Austin conducted an auction of foreclosed properties at 16 Croton Avenue at 1 p.m. on July 25th, 2017, in order to sell off properties with delinquent taxes owed to the town of Austin, one of which was 27 Secor Road, tax ID 97.7-1-41, and whereas all present had the opportunity to register and become qualified bidders to bid on the two properties for sale under the condition that the party offering the highest purchase price would be awarded the property subject to a resolution approving such sale by the town board of the town of Austin. And whereas Mr. Pedro Silva of 27 Secor Road Corporation, Austin, New York, was a successful bidder at a bid price of $165,000. And now therefore be it resolved that the town accepts the high bid of $165,000 for the property at 27 Secor Road submitted by Mr. Pedro Silva, and the town is authorized to accept a deed for the property from the receiver of taxes in a form approved by council to the town, and the town supervisor is authorized to execute a deed, as well as all required transfer documents and forms acceptable to council to the town, effectuating the sale of the premises to the high bidder upon receipt by the town of the bid price. And be it further resolved that upon conveyance of the property to the high bidder, the bidder will pay all real property taxes for the property as adjusted from the date of conveyance, with all additional accrued interest and/or penalties that may have accrued against the property for unpaid taxes through the day of conveyance being hereby waived.
We have a motion. So as you will recall, we held an auction back on July 25th, and two properties were ultimately auctioned, including this one. Our plan is for this property sale to close this Thursday, and we're very happy that after a bit of a hiccup at last year's auction, everything went smoothly this time around, and this property is soon to have a happy new owner. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Whereas pursuant to a judgment of foreclosure for unpaid taxes entered by the Supreme Court of the State of New York, Westchester County, the town of Austin conducted an auction of foreclosed properties at 16 Croton Avenue at 1 p.m. on July 25th, 2017, in order to sell off properties with delinquent taxes owed to the town of Austin, one of which was 15 Meadowbrook Drive, tax ID number 89.7-1-60, and whereas all present had the opportunity to register and become qualified bidders to bid on the two properties for sale, under the condition that the party offering the highest purchase price would be awarded the property, subject to a resolution approving such sale by the town board of the town of Ossining. And whereas the top two highest bidders declined moving forward with the purchase, and the town instituted a sealed bid auction for the top three bidders with a minimum bid of $300,000, as authorized by Town Board Resolution on August 8, 2017, accompanied by a document outlining the terms and conditions of said bid solicitation, and whereas Mr. Luis Arvalo was the successful bidder at a bid price of $300,100.50, and now therefore be it resolved that the town accepts the highest bid of $300,100.50 for the property at 15 Meadowbrook Drive submitted by Mr. Luis Arvalo, and the town is authorized to accept a deed for the property from the receiver of taxes in a form approved by council to the town, and the town supervisor is authorized to execute a deed as well as all required transfer documents in forms acceptable to the council to the town, effectuating the sale of the premises to the high bidder upon receipt by the town of the bid price. And be it further resolved that upon conveyance of the property to the high bidder, the bidder will pay all real property taxes for the property as adjusted from the date of conveyance, with all additional accrued interest and/or penalties that may have accrued against the property for unpaid taxes through the day of conveyance being hereby waived.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
Okay, so unfortunately, everything did not go quite as smoothly for this property, but we are pleased to share, with our original auction, but we're pleased to share that our sealed bid system was successful, and the closing on this property is scheduled for early September. Thanks again to our new receiver of taxes, Holly Perlowitz, and her staff for a job well done on completing this process, and also to our council. Very appreciative for all your help and guidance. All those in favor? Sorry.
Aye.
Opposed?
Whereas the
Okay.
town-
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Whereas the town board has been advised by the building inspector that the property located at 18 Minkle Road and shown on the tax map as section 81.17, block 1, lot 48, appears to be abandoned and has been determined to have created a serious fire and health hazard to neighbors and to drivers due to the overgrowth of weeds and grass that are spreading into the street. And whereas the building inspector has, on multiple occasions, contacted the mortgage server and has received no satisfactory response. And whereas there continues to exist on the property a hazardous condition that is only increasing and becoming more dangerous with time, and the town has already once authorized the building inspector to proceed with noticing, a process that ultimately resulted in a contractor being retained to clean up the property. And now therefore be it resolved, the town board authorizes the building inspector to send a notice to the property owner in accordance with Town Code 60-2 to clean and remove the weeds and grass on the property that are spreading into the street and causing a hazard to drivers within 15 days of the mailing of the notice, and a copy of this resolution shall be included with the notice. Be it further resolved, in the event that the property owners did not cure the hazardous condition within 15 days of the mailing of the notice by the building inspector, the town highway department and/or an independent contractor, as determined to be appropriate and necessary by the building inspector, is hereby authorized to clean and remove the hazardous condition in accordance with Town Code 60-3. And be it further resolved, that reasonable cost of doing the work necessary to remove the hazardous condition on the property shall be charged to the property, which cost shall be assessed and shall constitute a lien and a charge on the property in accordance with Town Code 60-3.
I have a motion.
Second.
Fortunately, we have yet to make any headway on getting the mortgage company for this property to respond to us or manage it appropriately. So our building inspector has recommended that we once again enact this resolution, which will allow him to renotice the property owners and prevent the overgrown lawn from becoming a hazard to neighbors and drivers on Minkle Road. Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I thought we already did it.
This is the second time.
Are we cleaning again?
What is, and the process by which you record this information to the state was? Yeah, isn't the state has a the state has a number and a database in order to,
Is this the zombie property that
Yeah.
you're talking about? I don't know that we have
but we should.
announced it.
Already, I mean, you know, I don't know how long it's been up.
At least a year.
I don't know what is the definition
That
that
has
you
to be a-
determined.
I don't think that you have to determine the definition. I think that it's just to
An
report,
abandoned
and
property that's
and
been-
then it is their
Certainly look into doing that.
determination to,
I don't know if we have, we have to do anything special, but we can, like,
If
how do
our-
we determine which ones we report and which ones?
I think anything that looks like an abandoned zombie property that's taken, that we've noticed as, that our building inspector has noticed, and, I mean, at this point, that's open to, even to the public. So, I mean, if you've lived across the street for something for 3 to 6 months to a year, and nothing is happening, and you know nobody's in there but the raccoons.
Right.
Or God knows what else.
Right.
Punks.
Yeah. Opossums, like, we could get into.
Right.
I just, well, we'll take a look and see what it is that is the process, but we should probably be
Okay.
putting it in there.
Okay.
And maybe we can push the state to push the servicers a little better, because that was the
Absolutely.
point of
Absolutely.
them doing it.
The bank.
Yeah.
There are a few of
Oh,
those in
did we
town.
do, we did
There are some of
vote on
those in the village, too.
it. Right, it's okay. All right, so we're on next one.
We're on H. Whereas the town of Ossining has a policy which allows managers and employees who are not represented by a collective bargaining agreement to accumulate up to 200 sick days and does not provide for monetary compensation for such unused sick days. And whereas Ms. Kathy Asaro, manager of the senior nutrition program, has 200 days of unused sick leave accumulated over many years of employment with the town of Ossining. And whereas Ms. Asaro wished to donate 15 days of her sick leave to senior nutrition program employee Denise Averdek, who is currently on leave due to illness. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining authorizes the transfer of 15 sick days from Ms. Asaro to Ms. Averdek to be paid at Ms. Averdek's regular rate of pay, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall not establish a precedent with regard to how similar situations may be handled in the future.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Questions?
I didn't think we said there a
We
contract?
said not 15.
We were
from the-
talking, at the risk of saying too much outside of executive session, we had discussed employees who are governed by a collective bargaining agreement not donating quite so many. Ms. Asaro, as a department head, is not subject to those terms and conditions, and these are 15 days that she would otherwise be losing, so she volunteered to do that. And she has done so in the past as well, as one of the very few people who are able to do such a thing.
Actually had a higher salary, so she would have been,
Wouldn't get compensated.
if she
You
was,
don't,
right. Lost them. Paid for them. No, she get paid for them if she takes them.
right. Right.
What I'm saying is, had she taken them?
If we need to table this, I mean, we certainly have time to do so if the board's uncomfortable, and if you want to discuss this more in executive
Yeah.
session, we could certainly table it to the next meeting.
You want to table it? That, everybody wants to table
I
it?
want to.
No, you're not,
I'm okay.
you're
I'm
okay?
with it.
You're okay?
Not if she
As long as you have
Right,
you have the comment that it's not forming a precedent,
Okay.
so I think that covers you for.
okay, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Abstentions?
I think I abstained just because I'm not clear.
Okay,
That's the only.
okay. Thank you.
Whereas the town board accepted the resignation of Building Inspector John Hamilton at the June 6, 2017 meeting for a resignation date effective July 1, 2017, and whereas Mr. Hamilton has twice agreed for his tenure to be extended until such time as the town was able to find replacement, and whereas the town and Mr. Hamilton have come to a tentative agreement and Mr. Hamilton has agreed to rescind his resignation. Resolved, the town board of the town of Ossining hereby accepts Mr. Hamilton's rescission of resignation effective immediately, and be it further resolved that the town board hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute a letter outlining the unchanged terms and conditions of Mr. Hamilton's employment with the town once such letter is produced by Labor Council.
Have a motion?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. And look forward to continuation of our work with John Hamilton. Thank him for working with us.
Okay, we have no correspondence to be received and filed. Monthly reports resolved, the town board of the town of Ossining hereby accepts the following monthly report for the month of July 2017, Dale Cemetery.
Do we have a motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That completes your resolutions for this evening. Not seeing any visitors, I'll request an adjournment to executive session for the advice of counsel on personnel.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you, everyone, for another great meeting. As a reminder, next week is the 5th Tuesday of August, which means the town board will not be meeting. Our next meeting will be a work session and special meeting on Tuesday, September 5th at 16 Croton Avenue, where we will reopen the public hearing on our zoning law. So please do not forget to join us for that. And do not forget this Friday night for Kuboriqua at Lewis Engle Park at 7 p.m. I look forward to dancing the night away with all of you. I'd like to close this meeting in memory of Martha Marty Stewart, a stalwart servant leader in Ossining for many years, who served as a volunteer elected Ossining School Board trustee for many years prior to my service on the school board, and I know that she was very, very well regarded and loved and gave a great deal of her time and effort to the school district, as well as serving on the Ossining Food Pantry Board. She will be truly missed. Have a great end of the summer, everyone, and a safe and happy Labor Day weekend. Good evening.